Hey, welcome back to another episode of Open Show, the first one of fall 2022. So goodbye summer, I guess. I'm actually pretty sad about that. So I don't know about you, Mark, but summer just like whizzed by. So
You know
anyway,
what?
shout out to
But,
summer.
but the colors come. This is when autumn
Sure.
comes,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
nice to get out there and shoot.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, absolutely. So huge thanks to Mark for taking the time in chatting. Full disclosure, this is the first time that we're meeting and talking. So I just know that he's follows the Get Out Shoot IG account. So I figured he has some really cool stuff, and figured it'd be cool to have him come on and chat about his photo journey. And yeah, if you're coming from Mark's side, you don't know exactly who I am. My name's Paul, based in the Toronto area, and do a bunch of vlogs and documentaries and host this show. So if you're in the Toronto area, not even in, you could be like anywhere in the world, because that's just the power of the internet. And if you want to come on and chat about whatever it is that you make, be glad to welcome you. So yeah, I don't want to take up too much of Mark's time. So thanks again, Mark, for taking the time. Maybe for the viewers that don't know who we are, maybe just a quick intro about yourself.
My IG account is Photoburst with an F. I've been taking photography since high school.
Yeah.
It's a huge passion of mine. This is something that's new to me, this YouTube thing. So cross my fingers.
World,
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully this turns out well.
oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. So we were just chatting offline about what you like to shoot. So I know that on your IG, it's wedding and event stuff and products. So maybe you want to touch upon maybe like first of all, maybe how you got into photography in like the first place.
In a dark room. Art class
Nice.
started with film. Oddly enough, Nikon was the first camera that I've ever touched, ever used, and till this day, it's still Nikon. I'm very committed to my brands.
Yeah,
but
it's a great time for a sponsor of the show, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've done everything. I've traveled. I've done landscape photography. That's one of my favorites. Been to Bali, Ecuador, Costa Rica, Hawaii, Dubai. But currently, my main focus here is for wedding photography. I've done product shots. I've done real estate, and also fashion photography for fun.
Cool, man. So like, what do you like the most out of all of that set?
What I like the most is, unlike now, I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
Right. Not really used to showing my face out to the public. But what I love the most is it's everything. It's the colors, it's the lights, it's the editing. But what we were talking about earlier is the grind to get the job, right?
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by how people get work, like paid work, because I think people just expect people to call them up and say, "Hey, Mark, I'm ready to shoot." And typically when you're starting out, anybody, it doesn't like happen that way. You need to like knock on a lot of doors. So, how did you get your kind of first kind of clients?
Oddly enough, it started with family, and then the rapport built, and it continued. It carried forward. Currently, I'm updating my website. Throw it out there, markjusto.com.
Markjusto.com. Okay, I'll put in the chat.
Absolutely, and wow, it's a venture. I think what most people don't really know is that the photography part is really only the 10-20% of it.
Yeah,
it's the 80-90%, the marketing, the website building, the cold calls. It's difficult.
The DMs and who are you? I don't know who's calling me, but it's interesting, right? But I think you mentioned family. I think family is a good way just to practice and just kind of get your feet wet and just see if you actually even like it, because family's family. Like it's what are they going to do? So I think family, friends is a great way to practice. Because sometimes the grass isn't always greener, right? Because sometimes that person may not even like wedding photography. It's like, oh, I went into this thing. It's like, I don't actually even like it. They may like the idea of it, but maybe they don't like the whole like 14-hour day kind of thing, right? So,
but isn't that the dream?
Yeah.
Right. We wake up in the morning, pick up our camera, and expect to shoot something fantastic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not always
that
like
happens to me every day. Oh my god, man. Oh my god.
Right. That's the dream.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah. I mean,
dream.
like we were just saying offline, you just got to keep going, right? Like it's the hardest. Like it's so simple, but especially when it's just you, when you're working like by yourself trying to get business, like it kind of becomes lonely at times too, right? Because there's no team around you. There's no. It's just me like researching people to
Exactly.
call, right? So when
Exactly.
there's no one watching you, it's very easy to like not do it because you're not
Absolutely.
really accountable to anybody, right?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know.
But
So
I love it though. I mean, going out, meeting, and interacting with new people.
yeah.
It's not something where you can be an introvert, right?
No.
You really have to be
Yeah.
out there and really publicize yourself, make yourself public.
Yeah. It's tough,
I think
right?
that's
It's
why I'm
not.
here today, right?
That's why, yeah, because you wanna get your name out there, man.
I think I
So
do.
what do you
I
what do
think I'm
you like?
ready.
What are you like? What are you looking forward to shoot the fall? Like, do you have any specific like goals that you want to hit or things that you want to do this fall and winter that you want to tell?
Fall for me is usually engagement time,
Yeah,
right? Engagement shoots.
true, true.
Um, for next year, though, we're looking at traveling to hopefully Spain, right,
Okay,
to see if I can get some landscape photography out there.
okay.
Um, but right now, for the fall winter season, it's getting those clients. So if anybody out there is looking to get married,
Yeah,
give us a
yeah.
call.
Maybe. Do you have any photos on your IG that maybe we can show off for the wedding stuff? Maybe people can have an idea of.
Right now, you're going to see a lot of fashion photography, but there's going to be a mixture there of
Yeah.
weddings. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for the people that don't know, get your account up. Yeah, so Mark's that photo burst on Instagram. You're at 1,000 followers even, man. So someone's
Yes.
got to be the 1,001.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be
I'm
the
looking to add
1,001?
that extra zero.
Yeah,
But
we all want the blue check mark, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any photos that you want to like talk about that maybe mean something to you or have a story or?
Well, this one right here, everything that I pinned is of the gorgeous Miss Sunseeker,
Okay, okay.
a yogi expert. Um,
Photographers Without Borders. Okay, so was this for them?
I'm sorry.
You tagged Photographers Without Borders. Was it were you working with them?
I am not working with them.
Hmm.
I don't remember why it was there, to
Yeah.
be honest with you.
Weird.
But the photo itself is taken in my studio here.
Okay.
Um, this was with a Nikon mirrorless, the Z6 II.
Yep.
I lit it with a Godox 8600. Um, I really have this
Nice.
thing for dark and moody portraitures.
Yeah. hundred
Um,
percent.
it's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my
So
favorites.
like how long was she holding that pose for?
Uh, behind the scenes, she probably had to do that pose like 10 million times for
Yeah.
me until I got the
Yeah.
legs straight.
Jeez.
But the
Yeah,
patience and the stamina was there.
I guess they didn't want the legs crooked. Eh? It wouldn't really help the photo.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
understand. So you got your own studio home, eh? That's very convenient.
Yeah. Home studio. In a downtown unit. It's small, but
Yeah.
you make it work. Definitely.
Cool, man.
She's
Nice.
amazing.
Miss Sunseeker. Okay.
Yeah, Miss Sunseeker.
Cool, cool, cool. So is she a friend of yours, or did you just met?
She's my wife.
Oh, she's your wife. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, that
yeah,
helps.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
Cool.
you're gonna
Man.
see quite a bit of her. Um,
Ah. So this is all
but
kind of like ending the year off, eh?
yeah, before I pinned it, absolutely.
No.
Most recently, the three photos beneath that were from Everything Bridal workshop that I held.
Okay.
This one was unique. It was helpful for the models. It was helpful for other photographers to build their
Yeah.
portfolios. It was strictly for a bridal theme.
Hmm.
And the network of people that I made. If I can shout out some people, there was Jax, there was Kyle, Capture It Photo.
Okay.
There's so many others, and I wish I could name them all, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a great event. It was this was held at 34 in Etobicoke. It's a
Okay.
beautiful studio.
Nice studio, eh?
Mm.
What's like your favorite studio in Toronto or the GTA?
Well, my studio is the favorite.
Besides yours, you're biased. Besides
uh,
that.
34 actually was one of my favorites. It's a
Okay.
1,800 square foot studio. There was a lot of blank space for you to fill up, and
Hmm.
neon. What's that? Demon
Neon
Studio.
Demon,
That's
yeah.
also,
Yeah.
yeah. They're it's one of my faves. Difficult place to shoot though for somebody if who's using off
Here's
camera
Neon.
flash.
Yeah, here's Neon Demon,
Yeah,
right?
there it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. Cool studio though, eh?
I love it there. It's
Yeah.
not far from me, but it, I guess it's something that I would like to visit on an annual basis, right?
Yeah. How much is it for like a day
I don't
afternoon?
remember. Last
Yeah.
time I remember they were closing their doors.
But they
Um,
always say that though, and they always keep
yeah,
open.
I'm not gonna say it, but yeah. um,
They've been
but
saying that
hey,
for a long time.
yeah, they have. But I'm happy that they're still going strong
Yeah, it's a
even
super cool
after the
studio,
pandemic.
man. These are cool too, eh?
Yeah, this one was an event held by uh, Fashion
Fashion
Forward
forward, yeah.
Photography.
This is the
Yeah,
blacklight one, right?
yeah, this was the Blacklight meet.
Yeah.
That was with Sarah and Catalina.
Yeah.
Good experience. I think you interviewed the light specialist at the event, Brian McGowan.
Brian, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Brian, yeah.
awesome guy. Very kind,
Yeah.
very intelligent.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh, totally. There you go. There's Sarah. There's okay.
Yeah, that's Sarah. There's Laura
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah. Very cool stuff, man. I like how you get their face. Like the eyes are so important, eh? Like
It
is
has
that
to
like
be.
one tip that you would give people? Just get the eyes.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's the connection to the soul, they say, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And hey, if you're using mirrorless, autofocus needs the eyes, right?
Yeah. Very cool stuff, man.
Yeah, all great people.
Yeah.
That
That's right.
one,
It's always about the person too, right? Not even about the photo. It's always about like the person and like the connection and
you know what? I think that's something that I want to really focus on, and
hmm
I don't think you can really do weddings if you don't have that connection with those individuals.
yeah,
Um,
it's so important, especially for wedding because it's such a personal day, you know, such
it
a
is,
personal moment.
and the feeling of being uncomfortable reflects
Hmm
on the subject, right?
Yeah, exactly. So how like do you have any tips for people like to make people feel comfortable in front of the camera? Do you have any tips that you use?
Well, don't be an introvert, right?
Yeah,
Anything funny, hopefully, um, that connection, if you can make them laugh and smile, makes them feel comfortable
yeah,
and warm. But always following the rules. Don't come too close. Don't touch the models. Leave that up
right,
to the makeup artists and the
yeah,
hairstylists, and just do the job. Set up the lights and take the photos.
yeah, yeah. Do you speak to them like beforehand on like what kind of shots that you're looking for, like any themes or any kind of like poses, or you just
Uh,
kind of like let it go and just see what happens?
No, I like to model people. I like the poses. I like the
Yeah,
ideas. So there's a lot of work behind the scenes in
yeah,
preparation.
yeah.
Um, a mood board is created, whether it be a wedding or a fashion shoot. And then when we
Interesting.
connect and have a great idea, that's what we focus on.
Yeah, no,
I think that's the
interesting.
best way to
And
work,
that and
right?
that just comes with practice, right? Like the more that you do it, like the more comfortable you're gonna be with like the person, because then you know what's gonna
Absolutely.
work and what's not. Like it's not like all of a sudden okay, this is exactly how it's gonna go and it's gonna go perfect. It's like, well, no, I practice this. Like I know what works and what doesn't. Right?
Exactly.
You know,
Absolutely. Um,
it's tough when you don't
but
practice. It's like, how do I know it works? I don't know. We'll see.
exactly, right. And then the post process, the all of
Yeah.
that afterwards, is just seals the deal, right? I love the reactions when they see themselves in this
Yeah.
highlight. Some of them
Yeah.
have been on print in magazines,
Yeah.
and I love that sense of accomplishment for myself and the model
Totally.
who's being published.
Totally. Right. It's a great
Mm.
feeling.
That's the sense of accomplishment, right?
Yeah. Accomplishment, like validation, all those things that kind of just again make you want to just keep going with it, right? It's
Absolutely.
you
You're
also got to
one
like
step
celebrate the small wins too. But
right, and you're one step closer to that dream, right? I mean, I
yeah,
think that's why we all do it. I mean, you got to turn your passions into a career because that's the
yeah,
best way to live. Right?
it's interesting, right? Because I don't know. I'm always like torn between like should people turn their passion into a career because like it's cool to like do what you like every day, but also like it also becomes work too, right? It's not always like rainbows and sunshines every day because like once you turn something into like income
Absolutely.
and that it becomes a little bit different because no you're no longer doing it for fun. So I always caution people like just see, practice, maybe volunteer, work for free, see if you actually like what you're doing because that's why like a lot of people quit what they love because they've turned it into like a full-time job and it doesn't become fun anymore, and these are the people that don't really evaluate like the pros and cons of it, right? Like it's
I think the niche or their strengths aren't really um,
yeah,
being utilized, right?
yeah,
Um, but if I don't know. To me, photography is an art form, no matter what it is.
sure,
Um,
sure,
as simple as taking pictures of the CN Tower or a
yeah,
person. I
yeah,
mean, if that's what you love doing, stick to it.
yeah,
And
100%.
if you fail, that's okay. Move on.
Yeah,
Take the
I,
next
I I
shot.
don't even like using the word failure. I just like using the word like just like learning because no one's perfect,
That's
right? Like
true.
I think the challenge of like any like in any art form is to like make something unique. Like you take the example of the CN Tower. Like how are you gonna shoot the CN Tower unique? How like no one's seen it before.
Differently.
Like that is pretty challenging. That's a pretty
Hmm.
challenging task. So but if you can do that, I think there's value to that because you're trying to push the boundaries and trying to see it your way. So
And I think that's the hardest thing about photography. It's inundated with
there's a lot.
millions of
Hey,
photographers.
everyone's a photographer. They all got their phone, and it's like, well, you're not a photographer because, but everyone thinks that, right? That's the problem. Like everyone
If
thinks they
that's
are.
the way that begins their passion, by all means, that's okay
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
right?
But even
But
coming from like a work side, right? Like, say for example, you want to work with a ABC client, but they've been using their phone for all their shots. It's like, well, no, Mark, I don't need you. I got my phone. It's like, well, no, you're not. You're not gonna say this to this person, but you're not really a photographer. Like, you're just using your phone. Like, this is like I'm coming in to like help you. But some people don't
uh,
understand that. They don't understand the value of like, actually getting someone that's professional, that has like the right gear, has the right lights, has the right like post processing. Like, some people don't understand that. I think that
it's
hurts a lot
true.
of that hurts the business because it's just so saturated. It's like, well, I got my phone. Like, why do I need you for? It's like, well, let me
Oddly
tell you.
enough, it was what I think it was 2 days ago. I saw something on Instagram where um, I guess it was an individual who thought that, hey, I'll be your wedding photographer with
Yeah,
my iPhone, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it maybe it's a trend,
Maybe that's what
but
they
hey,
want. Maybe that's what they want. Who knows? But I mean, are you going to be paying
exactly.
someone, X dollars to shoot a wedding on an iPhone?
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like
true.
that's why that's
That's
why
true.
that's why wedding people get paid big bucks because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
Behind the
hours, a lot
scenes,
of editing, a lot.
absolutely.
It's just a lot of. So I don't think some people get that. Let me just shoot on my phone. I'll just send you a couple via Google Drive. It's like, well, no.
Mm, it doesn't work that way, does it? No,
Yeah.
but
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I say this because I always come across this like just whenever I'm talking with like small businesses, it's like, well, what? I don't need you. I have my phone. I make videos on my phone. It's like, well, I get it. It's good, but I can make it better.
absolutely,
You know what I mean?
absolutely,
So
right, absolutely.
I think it's a big challenge for all of us, right? Because how you gonna like overcome that? Free, and it's on my phone, and I don't have to pay anybody.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well,
Sometimes it's tough.
let's see them enlarge the photo to
I guess,
a wallpaper size poster, right? So
right? I guess,
I don't
right?
know if that can be done.
Well, I guess maybe these are
Uh,
the people that we don't work with because if they don't understand the value of like the craft, then you probably don't want to work with them, right? Like it's,
exactly,
but
exactly.
yeah, man,
I
everyone
like
thinks
that
they're
comment
photographers.
there. iPhone equals Fisher
Special
price
price
of
of photography.
photography.
Well, that's right, Roy.
That's
Like
actually right.
it's I don't know.
Have you
It's
ever
become like
seen?
it's yeah, like 5 years ago to now, it's a totally different world, right? Totally different world.
But I can say there was an episode on Adorama where they would get these huge, big name photographers, and they would have them shoot with a toy camera to see what
Yeah,
it is that they come
yeah,
up with.
right.
Um, at the end of the day, sometimes it's the photographer that really
Yeah,
gets the shot, right?
yeah,
But hey,
100%. It's not the gear, it's the person, right?
exactly, exactly.
It's like, you can take great shots on anything, but if the person doesn't really understand, angles and composition and all that, then
Hmm.
what are you going to do, right? Like, I don't know, I just
Exactly,
find it
right?
fascinating how it's almost like if everyone had like a saw, everyone thinks they're a carpenter. It's kind of like that, It's like, well, you're not,
Yeah,
you're not a carpenter. That's
yeah,
why you hire people. It's kind of like
exactly,
the same kind of
exactly.
analogy, right? What are
Exactly.
you gonna do,
I
man?
think
It's the world we live in.
that that's the whole nature. I mean, as simple as it is building a website, there are
Yeah,
so many experts out there that can get you up and ready, up and running.
sure,
I think
sure.
that's part of the fun of it, though, is learning the
Yeah,
other aspects
yeah,
of building something phenomenal that leads to
yeah,
photography. Right?
yeah,
Search engine
100%.
optimization on your website for
Yeah,
Google's. Um,
yeah.
it's so much the marketing, the accounting, and all of that stuff.
It's a business, man. That's what I mean. Like
It is.
that's why a
It
lot of
is.
people quit because they never really kind of understood what's involved in making it a full time gig because it becomes a business, so it becomes different. It just becomes different. Like that's why you need to
Exactly.
like understand what you're getting yourself into before you actually like take the full leap. But
Hmm.
people do it.
Absolutely true.
People do it every day, right? But like my it says that my thing is like don't lose the passion of what you're doing after, right? Because then that doesn't help you at all if you don't like what you
Maybe,
do anymore.
maybe that's part of the discovery process, though, right?
Could be,
Maybe you thought it
could
was a
be.
passion, and
Maybe you thought it
maybe
was. I
carpentry
don't
is the
even
way
like
to go.
using the word passion because it's so like there's so much pressure to that. Passion has so much pressure to it. It's like, it's my passion. I gotta do this. Well, maybe you're curious about it, or maybe you're kind of interested in learning more about it. But I don't know. I think also
That's
passions
true.
change too a little bit. Like 5, 10, 20, 30 years. People
Well, if
change
there weren't
too.
pressure, no matter what word we use, I mean, pressure
Yeah,
is what drives us. Um,
sure. Yeah,
the
yeah. I
obstacles
don't know.
we leap over, right?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
it's yeah. I've always had this thing with the word passion. It's just so like that. Do it or else you're
it,
gonna like whatever. But anyways, what are you gonna do?
it's true. It's true. It's true. I guess to each his own.
Yeah,
Um, but hey, if you love something that much, right,
yeah.
then why give up?
Sure, exactly.
Or maybe it's just about being able to take feedback and accept it.
Yeah, I think feedbacks. I think also like non-biased feedback. That's constructive is very important. It's very hard to find these days. Like non-biased constructive feedback. It's hard to find.
Uh,
Who are you gonna ask? Friends, family, like who are you gonna ask, right? That
well, that's the bias part
truly
already, right? Yeah,
truly non-biased, but it's also constructive.
right.
Like it's hard to find that, man. Like it's hard to find that. Like I don't,
That
I don't know
you know
where to
what
go. I don't know where to go for that.
I think you hit something. Like maybe
Yeah.
you should be a critique and do it
Me?
on YouTube.
Oh,
Why
I'm the
not?
worst person to do that. Oh no, I'm the worst person. Nah, because I don't know if I care that much.
Oh,
I
okay,
care
I
about
see.
my stuff,
I
but I don't
see.
know if I don't know if I really care. I don't know if I really care to really give true, non-biased, constructive feedback. Like I don't know if it's in my DNA. Um, I don't know. I don't know where to. I don't know where to ask for that. Like it's tough. Like
Right, right.
even if you pay like a coach, they're biased because you're paying them. In a way, they're a
That's
little bit
true.
biased because they're getting money from you, right? So where else can you
I
go
think
for
that's why the network of photographers that I built, I think that was one of the best parts of networking with them is
that? Yeah,
because, especially somebody that I recently did a wedding with, he was able to critique. He was using um, things he learned from school
yeah,
that really caught my attention, and somebody that I would really enjoy working with more in the future as
okay,
a lead or a second photographer. Right? I think
okay,
those are the people that really push you to be better,
yeah,
and if you can find them, keep them because they will help make you better.
yeah. So I
Um,
guess this person kind of like inspires you too.
Absolutely.
What's his name?
Capture it. Let me make sure I get his
On
right.
Instagram?
He's on Instagram. Capture it photo.
Oh, I know that
Kyle.
person. Yeah,
Kyle, amazing photographer.
all right. Captured photo.
Capture it photo. Capture with a K.
Capture it
Capture it. Um,
photo.
capture underscore it underscore photo. Let me
Oh
put
yeah.
it in.
I have photo booth
Uh,
underscore.
I'll put it in our chat here.
Yeah, put it in the chat. Can't see it. All right. Oh, I see with a K. Got it.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay.
Very talented photographer. Very talented. Um,
Okay.
I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Right.
hopefully he learned anything from me.
Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure. Let's take a look real quick. All right. That's dope. Wow.
I love the light, airy kind of feel that he gives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Fortunately, he shoots with Sony, but that's all he cares.
You said,
Yeah.
we always have people that come on here that love Sony. You're the first person to like slam it. I love it.
You know what? I love the camera.
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I even love Canon.
Yes,
I've
whatever, man.
tried them all.
Whatever gets you to click doesn't even matter, man. These are nice. These
Absolutely.
are nice photos.
He's a great photographer.
Yeah. So like this is the kind of stuff that you want to do with buddies.
For weddings, absolutely. Actually, the thought process is not to follow trends, it's not to follow styles.
Right.
I think I'm going to start doing something different and provide
Okay.
a various type of style, whether you want dark and moody, light and airy. I think that's the way to go nowadays is
Is
to
it?
advertise as yourself as a multi-factored kind of shooter,
Mm,
right? And editor. I
right.
think that's the secret.
Is it? So you kind of become like a Swiss Army knife, where you have all these kind of like tools at your disposal.
I think you have to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you first get your camera, we're going to try the double exposure,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're going to do with the blowouts, right? We're going to
Yeah.
do the low f-stops. We're
Yeah.
going to do everything. And I think that's what the people want. And if that's what they want, then that's
Yeah.
what I aim to provide.
Okay. So you're there, or you're almost there, or you're working on it, kind of thing.
On the website, it's almost there, but I am there, right? If somebody asks me to shoot in a particular style, I
Yeah,
think that's a strength, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's a huge
Totally,
strength,
man.
right?
Totally. If you can do that, 100%. That's what also kind of like sets
Absolutely.
you apart too from like all the other people too.
Right. We also provide either a photojournalistic style or
Yeah,
a pose model style.
right.
Um, Again, it services. It's a whole menu. It's a whole menu.
Yeah, cool. So is that kind of how you sell? Like, do you offer like a menu or do you offer like packages, like where it's A, B, and
I
C?
o- I offer packages, right?
Yeah,
But in the discussion, in the meet, I think again, it's most important to really connect with your customer, your client base,
yeah,
and that's part of the discussion, right? What is it that like you've seen my photos? This is
yeah.
what I can do, but what is it that you want? So that way, I can make sure that what it is you're looking for is something that
Hmm.
will make you happy,
Hmm.
right?
Very important to listen to what the client
Absolutely.
wants. It's not about what we want. It's about what they want, right? So
Especially for weddings when it's the
especially
fashion
for
side of things, the
yeah,
landscape things, it's and I think that again, I know you hate the word, I think that's the passion part, and kind
sure,
of
sure,
brings me back
yeah,
to what I started with, how I started, but then at the same time use those practices for other photos that other people want.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
it's so important to like have that connection with the person because I think some people just think of it as kind of like a transaction, which is like the wrong way to go. Because if you're trying to build a business around it, it's not a transaction. You need to treat it as a relationship, right? Because that, you know, the engagement shoot turns into the wedding shoot, turns into like, you know, the firstborn shoot can turn into like whatever, the baptism shoot. Like you never know what can happen
Exactly.
when you have
How can you
that.
make somebody smile if they don't like you?
It's tough,
Right?
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
if they're not in a good mood, it's gonna show in the photo if they're not in a good mood. So it's interesting,
Absolutely.
right? It's interesting. Like it's not even. It's just about like human behavior. Like how do you get someone to feel comfortable with you? Not easy sometimes, but
And I think that's one of the struggles or the hardships of being a photographer, right?
yeah, yeah. Because we always just like being behind like as you said, we always like being behind the camera. So you know, some of us it's like, oh well, you know, it's like sales, but it isn't, but it kind of is, and you got to go up and you know you got to like sell your business, sell your service, and not,
And this is not the face that belongs in front of the camera, by the way. So
no,
that's
no. You're doing a good job, man. You're doing a good job.
why I appreciate
Um,
it.
yeah, no, I think it's important. I think it's important to get these kind of like insights from people that are actually like doing the work because you're doing the actual work, so you kind of understand again like the grind of it, right? So, so do you want to like like in terms
Absolutely.
of like full time career, you want to turn the wedding business into a full time, or do you want to turn something else into like a like a full time gig?
To be honest with you, anything that has to deal with an icon in my hands is my full time.
Is the full time gig?
Um,
Where just give me an icon in my hand?
yeah, give me an icon in my hand, and I will shoot whatever it is you want me to shoot.
So do you want to become like a Nikon ambassador then?
I've inquired.
Yeah.
Difficult.
What did they say?
Um, I've met one, Taku.
Yeah, Taku.
He
Yeah,
did,
yeah,
he a fabulous person, great
yeah,
human being,
yeah,
very humble. Um, and he's an icon ambassador. And the
yeah.
best tip is just to expose yourself.
Okay.
Um, and through that exposure, hopefully somebody will find you and want to use you and keep you
Mhm.
forever.
Like
It would
expose
be
in
nice.
terms of like this, like kind of like showcasing like Nikon and the gear and like what how you're shooting. Is that what you mean by
Exactly.
exposing?
Exposure, that and the end result, of course,
Yeah,
right? I think the
yeah.
end result is,
He should get you in. Taco should get you into the group.
I wish. I don't think it's his choice though. I think it's I think
Is it
it's
Nikon's
Nikon.
choice?
Yeah. Yeah,
Nikon,
I
if
think
you're
it's
listening or
Nikon's
watching,
choice.
you gotta help out. You gotta help out Mark here.
Please.
Z6 for life or what?
Mm. Oh, the goal is the Z9.
Yeah.
You know, if if uh, if the Toronto price of rent decreases and
Yeah.
gas decreases
Sure.
and
Sure. Yeah. And
then
if summer
maybe we
lasts
can
all
get that
year,
Z9.
nice.
Exactly. But we're not all that lucky.
No, we're not. We're not.
No, love that camera though. I love it.
Nice, eh?
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could just get my hands on it, just for a
Yeah.
day.
Just for a day.
Yeah,
What about like renting it from Vistec or something? Can't you rent it from Vistec?
I haven't even thought about it to be honest with you.
It
But
might be
yeah,
able to rent it for like a
but
weekend.
that's the problem, right? See, that's the problem, right? Like any other toy, you, you rent it, you play with it,
And you
it's
want it.
fabulous,
And you want it.
and then you want it,
And
right?
then you want it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey man, I mean, hey, I always say about gear, it's like, do you need it or do you want it? Because they're two very separate questions. Like, do you need it for work related? Like you need it for work, or you just want it because it's just a toy to play with,
Absolutely.
right? So
Absolutely.
everyone
An expensive toy.
loves gear, man. Everyone loves gear. It's never gonna die. It's never gonna end. But like as you mentioned, if you have it in your hands, you're gonna want it. So
Hey, from somebody who started with film to DSLR
yeah,
to mirrorless, I mean,
yeah.
it, it's
So
all fun. It's all
do
fun and
you
games.
shoot film though, like on the side for fun, or
No, well, I do have a film camera, and guess what? It's a Canon.
oh,
Um, I've touched
Icon
it.
who?
Haven't in a while, right? But no, it's an expensive to develop, I think,
Yeah.
right? So I mean,
You go to
everybody's
downtown
into
camera.
the
You go to
digital.
downtown camera. You ever go to
Yeah,
downtown camera on Queen?
yeah, love it. I
Great.
love their wall of cameras.
You
I
know,
mean,
right?
if I
You
could
walk
do
in.
that to my own unit,
Yeah.
right? Exactly, right. But
Yeah.
uh, I think as gorgeous as film turns out, right, you have to play with the market too. Everybody
Yeah.
wants digital.
Yeah.
Even photo albums aren't really. That's pretty much a thing of the past, and that's where the videographers come in
Hmm.
with their beautiful videos.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
my thoughts.
So what do you like miss about film then? Like, is there something that you miss?
The dark room,
The
right?
darker. You miss being in the
Actually,
dark room. Yeah.
yeah, to develop something. That was one hell of an experience for me is
Yeah.
to
It's like
develop
giving birth.
something and exactly right. I mean, it's nothing like a Polaroid camera,
No.
right? You treat it like a baby, right?
Yeah. Cool. So
Right?
you had a dark room in your place?
No, this is my introduction into photography is in
Yeah.
high school when we had a dark room and I was pretty much there all day, all night.
Cool, eh? Yeah,
Right?
it's like it's a
The
different
paper
feeling.
was free.
Yeah.
It is, right? Um, and just to experiment with exposure and not really knowing what you got until you've
Yeah,
developed it
I
is
know,
the
right?
surprise
You don't
factor.
get that instant hit of gratification. You gotta
Exactly.
wait. You gotta
Exactly.
wait,
Exactly.
which, is
Exactly.
tough these days for some people. So
Exactly. If I could get back into film, I would,
yeah.
right? But I think there's a lot more competition there that requires more than film. What do
Yeah.
you shoot, Paul?
Oh, I'm on a Canon. I'm on a Canon
You're on,
RP.
oh,
Canon
you're
RP, yeah.
my competitor.
Your competitor. I
Yeah,
I've
Canon.
I have a Nikon 5300 somewhere. I have a Nikon 53.
Okay.
My uncle actually was in photography when he was younger, and he has a whole just kit of Nikon gear.
Yeah,
So like
Nikon
old,
guy.
old lenses and old stuff, but he was Nikon all the way. This is like back in like the 60s or 70s or something. But
Hmm.
yeah, he
Right.
has. Yeah.
Right.
Hey man,
Yeah.
whatever gets you getting up to shoot is all that really matters.
Exactly.
No
Exactly. Like
excuses,
a
right?
Hasselblad. No
The
excuses
Hasselblad.
whatsoever. Yeah. I wish. Right.
So if you gotta be an ambassador for Nikon or Hasselblad, who do you pick?
For
Whoever
this
pays more?
YouTube video or for this, I'm gonna say Nikon all the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Okay, man.
100%.
I feel a love for Nikon. So
Yeah.
we gotta somehow make this happen for you somehow in the next year or something.
One day, one day, one
Yeah.
day. I
Yeah.
think I
Yeah. Yeah.
gotta focus on my own work first, and
Yeah.
keep on developing and strengthening those experiences.
Yeah.
One day,
It'll happen. Why not? So
yeah,
like
it's the
you like
dream.
wow, it's yeah, of course it is. Yeah. I mean, like, do you have any tips for people that are just starting out in photography that you want to come in pass on? Maybe how to look for shots,
Yes.
compose, how to anything like that.
Well, for me, to be honest with you, if you're trying to figure out where your future is with photography,
Yeah,
I personally probably wouldn't suggest going to a photo kind of class. It's
yeah,
important, maybe as a minor. I think
yeah,
the most successful photographers, and I'm not gonna lie, the best photographers out there are the ones with business or marketing degrees.
yeah,
And I hate to say this, it really bothers me that these guys can get a ton of clients and
yeah.
produce the worst photos,
Uh,
right? But they're out there. It's something, I don't know, maybe something I should keep my mouth quiet, and not even
rant it,
say.
rant
But
it, rant.
if you want to be a great photographer, if you want to really sell your business, it's all about marketing. It's all about business courses,
Sure.
um, and then on the side, minor in photography,
Yeah,
get your certificate, or
yeah.
um, that's my personal
Okay.
opinion when it comes
Sure.
to this business.
Yeah,
When it actually comes to taking photography or taking photos, I think everybody has a different eye. I mean, do
yeah,
what you want to do. Don't fall for the trends on Instagram, because I think that's technically what happens. Oh, this is a great shot. I'm going to duplicate it.
yeah.
Well, that may not be the same person in the photo, but that really isn't your shot.
Yeah, it's also like, yeah, also it's not the shot that that person took because it's not, and you weren't there.
Exactly.
Like it's
Exactly.
not what, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
those are my personal opinions.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. You could take, I guess, a business course in whatever school, but you could also just maybe go on YouTube too and see what people are doing there. It's tough, right? Because they're like two different worlds, like photography and business. They're two totally separate worlds. So what do you do, right?
Well, exactly. Exactly. And well, you can go on Model Mayhem and find yourself a
Yeah.
model. Um,
Hmm.
you can post something on your IG story, but
Hmm.
that's TFP, right?
Yeah. Sure.
It's great for practice. It's great
It's good
for
for practice. Yeah.
portfolio building. Yeah, but
Yeah.
well, I mean, what's the end result there?
I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you how you want to use that experience. If you just want to get a portfolio and just practice, good way. It's a low pressure way to do it until you
It
get
is.
comfortable
It
enough to
is.
actually start charging people, right? And kind of get into that arena.
Mm, exactly. I mean, yeah, if you're a hobbyist, that's perfect, right? That's cool, right? But if you're really looking towards um, doing something with what it is that you're doing, then you got to find some other ways of
Yeah.
educating yourself.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Because it's not an easy space to be in. So these are very
No,
good
it's absolutely.
good points. Good points that you raise. Yeah, I also find just constantly like shoot every day. Like to me, it's more of like a discipline, especially when you're just starting out. There's like you need to really shoot at least every day, every other day, and just have some sort of like not routine, but just some sort of discipline where you just have your camera and just keep practicing, right? Because I think the more that you practice, the more that you're going to understand how your camera works and how you look for shots and how you compose and how you see the light and how you see the subject and all these things that, like, there's so many things that go on when you try to take a photo. Like, it's hard to kind of like know it all at the start, but if you practice every day for whatever 20 minutes on your lunch break or whatever the case is, I think, to me, it's like that's just how people learn too. Well, that's how I learn. You just gotta do it.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah,
But that's what can make you popular.
sure,
You carry your camera, something, if by luck, might happen that's worth taking a photo of.
yeah,
For example, I don't remember the photographer's name. During the 9/11, there was a picture of one of the people who jumped off of the
yeah,
building head
yeah. It's a
first.
famous photo. Yeah,
I mean, that alone,
yeah, yeah,
phenomenal photo. And
yeah.
I
That's
don't know
right.
if that was from a camera or whatnot, but I think you always need to have that camera beside you just in case. If that's
Yeah,
what you're
just
looking for.
because I always find that when I don't have my camera on me, that's when all the shots happen for whatever reason. It's like,
Exactly,
oh, I
right?
didn't bring it
It's
today. It's because
exactly, exactly.
that's Murphy's law, man. That's Murphy's law. But
It's a lottery ticket.
yeah, the Falling Man. That's a famous.
Yes, that's
Also,
it.
so September 11th is what, Sunday. So yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is a powerful photo. Insane. Yeah, I don't know. I always tell people just be disciplined. Just keep at it because it's hard. Hard things are hard.
It's
Hard
it's
things are
so
hard, man.
hard. Not
Hard,
only that, I mean, if you're shooting manual, you
yeah.
need to be ready, right? You got to get
You
that
gotta be
setup
ready,
ready if
man.
you
You
do
gotta
see
have all your
something.
dials. Well, especially if you're doing like street photography, right? Like you need to be ready on the dot because that moment's not gonna happen again, right? Like sure you can
Well, the
ask the
same,
person to do the thing, but you've kind of like lost the candid moment of whatever happened.
exactly. And I guess the same applies. Well, definitely not. I guess it definitely applies to weddings also.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what? Honestly, I love the candids more than the actual like formal photos. I think the candid stuff,
Mhm.
like behind the scenes stuff, just like off, kind of like joking, kind of like funny photos. I think those are so cool, man, because it's a moment, right? That you're never gonna ever gonna get back. So I always dig those
I think
photos from weddings, man. Black and white,
I
make
think
it real nice, nice.
I think that really is what makes an individual stand out if they can accomplish that.
Yeah, and
Right?
to me, it's about and anticipation. Like if you can anticipate something happening and be ready for it, man, you can really make some magic, right? But I think that comes
Exactly.
again with practice. Like if you, especially in weddings, like if you practice enough, you're going to be able to kind of sense moments coming, right? If you're really paying attention.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love the Canon stuff, man. It's so cool. Just like
Right.
yeah, just like casual. They're all because it's such a stressful day. Like whatever, everyone's relaxed. They're kind of having fun at the dinner and stuff, and make some really cool photos.
I, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think those really stand out. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's how you
and
stand out. It's like, sure, I can, yeah,
the tools that are out there to help you even better the photo in the post processing is
yeah. What do you use? Lightroom
Topaz.
or Photoshop? What do you use that in? Photoshop? Lightroom?
I start with Lightroom,
Yeah,
and then for the finer details, I'll go with Photoshop.
yeah.
Um, and then currently, I'm in love with the Topaz, the sharpen, the blurry, the
Oh yeah. Is
AI
that free?
on that software is
Is that
phenomenal.
free? Or you got to pay for that?
You gotta pay for it. Yeah, you gotta pay for it. But the thing about
Interesting.
that program, for those who are interested in it, is it's not a miracle worker,
Okay.
right? You can't unblur something that's extremely blurry. It's for the finer
You can't
tuning,
turn back
right?
time. What?
You can't, unfortunately, it can't. But maybe in the
Topaz?
next upgrade,
Topaz?
Topaz, yeah,
Topaz?
Topaz. Yeah,
Uh-huh. No, not .com. Canadian? No. I'm trying to find the site, but Roy's asking, what does Mark charge for photography? Not enough.
There's 4 packages.
Yeah.
Start the highest is at 5.
Yeah.
But the lowest is at the lowest is at $200 an hour if somebody wants to customize something that's outside of my package or outside of my reach. Everything's negotiable. Yeah.
Why, Roy? You got someone getting married? Contact Mark after the live.
Yeah, I'm available.
So here's Topaz real quick. Oh, it's AI powered, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Never heard of this thing, man.
No? Check it out.
Never heard of it.
It's been around for a while, but their most recent updates have really upped the game. I really wouldn't use anything else.
So
but again, this is really sorry.
Are they direct competitor with Photoshop?
No, it actually works alongside Photoshop and Lightroom.
Oh, so it's like an extension.
Pretty much, that's how I would say.
Yeah. Interesting.
And, yeah, absolutely. This is my saving grace, especially for the candid shots.
Yeah. Interesting. Topazlabs.com. A client asked for rates. Your client? Contact Mark after the live.
Hey, follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, Photoburst.
Answer any questions.
Photoburst. Yeah, for sure. Well, we're coming to the hour, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. So thanks again for doing this. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Can I? Yeah, no, I did. Before I leave, I really want to commend you for what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
I remember Peter McKinnon before he became this mega Canon guy when he was just a street magician in Toronto. Watching him from doing street magic to where he is now. Even Jared Polin, I can only wish and hope the same thing for you, and I hope that your subscriber count increases.
Yeah, well, thanks for mentioning that. Peter's on next week, so I'll definitely tell him that. No, just joking. Yeah, no, man. I think it's important to speak with people because for me, it's like I think sometimes I get stuck in my own head, which is how to do things. And once you talk to people, they give you different ways to think, right? So I'm just trying to reach as many people as possible because everyone has a story and everyone has different approaches and methods, and hopefully people take away something because there's just so much out there. Like, I mean, there is no like the great thing about photo and video and painting and all that stuff is there really are no rules. There are rules, but you can break them once you understand them.
Once you know them.
Once you understand them, you can do whatever you want because in the end it's art, right? So action therapy.
Absolutely.
Zayd, I'll give you the $20 tomorrow. So action therapy. I just did a video with a collab. That's going to be great. Thanks again, Mark, for taking the time. And maybe we'll have you on at some other point, see what you're up to.
Or maybe we can collab one day.
Maybe we'll get you on from Spain or something.
There you go. Why not?
Maybe I'll be in Spain. How about that? I don't know. I'm trying to go somewhere now. I'm tired of.
Why don't you come with us?
Don't tempt me. It'll be a live open shutter from Spain as we're by the beach. Wouldn't that be great? Well, thanks, Trips. Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, and thanks for watching. Follow Mark at Photoburst, and we'll see you next week for something else. Have a great evening.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thanks, man.